May I ask a
And bro,
strange question real quick? Aisha, I've never met you before, but how do you feel? How do you feel at this moment?
in regards to what?
Your personal feeling, like how do you feel? Like how are
Like, am
you?
I in a good mood today?
Yeah, like how are you? How do you feel right now?
I'm good. I'm fine.
Okay. The reason I ask is because of your body language. It seems like, and I don't know you, so I don't have anything to compare it to. This could be your physical representation.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the saint in the center is about to say, but I did hear him mention body language. And, that's actually a conversation that I have with my child all the time. I know when I was in school, in elementary school, I remember like it was yesterday, they taught us that about 90% of communication is body language, which basically means that only about 10% of communication is based off of what you actually say out of your mouth. And when you hear it, it sounds crazy. So your body language is more important than the things that you say. But when you really think about it, it makes sense because based off your body language, you could say the very same thing out of your mouth and it'll have a totally different meaning. For example, somebody could say, I like you. If someone said, I like you, and their body language was warm and embracing, you're going to take that as exactly what's coming out of their mouth. But if they're to say it and they have like a sinister smile, you probably receive it differently. You like, hold up, like what's going on here? It might make you ask questions. And then obviously if somebody was to say I like you, but they were to be frowning and you know saying it with attitude, you would probably just think no you don't. And that's a really simple example, but body language is everything. And before you even open your mouth, people are already deciding, what they think about you. Again, based off of how you dress, based off of how you walk, and then if it does get around to talking, um, the things that come out of your mouth are going to be received differently based off of your body language as well. Let me see what the internet says in regards to body language and what percentage of it is based off of body language versus what actually comes out of your mouth. I'm interested to see. All right, so from what I can find, they're basically saying that the 90% that I heard, or right here, it's actually saying 93% is an old myth, but more modern research is saying 60 to 70%. So, regardless, nonverbal, as it's saying here, or body language, which is what we were talking about in the beginning, is still the majority of communication. It totally changes what comes out of your mouth, and it's actually going to carry more weight. And I guess that's where also the saying comes from: actions speak louder than words. Because yeah, at the end of the day, what you're doing is always going to carry more weight than what's coming out of your mouth. If your actions aren't matching whatever's coming out of your mouth, then your words really don't hold any weight. And I'm pretty sure there's people here, that may watch this video that have come across people, or you might still actively know people whose words don't really carry a whole lot of weight because they don't necessarily have the actions to follow or back up whatever it is they be talking about. But let's get back to whatever the saint in the center was about to say to the lady.
Of happiness. But I ask, in as much as we got all black folks here, we're discussing the issues of our community, and it almost seems like maybe you're a bit drained. And I don't know you, that's why I ask you.
I don't know why you're concerned with me being drained or not, but I'm definitely not drained, and I'm definitely listening and have been a part of the conversation the entire night. I just think that you guys were having your own dialect, and I probably zoned out a couple of times because you're long winded. And I felt like I already knew the point of what was going to be said. But no, I'm doing just fine.
I yield the floor.
That was kind of strange.
Go ahead, True. You want to chime in?
Yeah, it just sounds like she wasn't actively listening. You know, sometimes when you're talking to people, they'll just check out at a conversation. It's like they'll hear you, but they're not really listening. Or they listening, but they don't really hear you, however you want to say that.
No, I mean they laying down pillars. I think that there's a consensus thought that the fact that we do need structure, ideology. I don't know if we need to like tie a tag to it, Islamic, Christian. I think that that's where things get a little bit muddy, and I think because we do that now, we're very trying to figure out what maybe be a superior approach. I think that we need to figure out what is most conducive for progress. And it could be as simple as patriarchal structure. It could be as simple as men are leading the charge. It could be as simple as having conversations. What I believe occurs more often than not is the men are not the ones who are so much divided. I think when we start having conversations, we're still battling the women that want to have a different approach to what progress looks like. And when we say, well, this is what we need to do, we'll be told we're not leading correctly. But then when you ask them, why are we not leading correctly? What are you comparing it to? Are you comparing to the fact that you have a job? Are you comparing it to the fact that you have a great FICO score? And then that's where it gets really, really muddy. So I think the conversation needs to happen amongst the families of each other.
Yeah, I think that whenever conversations are had or debates are had, something that really needs to be focused on more is solutions. I know from my experience, sometimes when I'm dealing with women and we'll have a disagreement in, one of my relationships or whatever the case may be, something that would annoy me is if a woman is in disagreement with my way, but then offers no solutions. It just kind of leaves you at a stalemate. So I don't really think it matters whether you're talking about uh, a disagreement or conflict within an intimate relationship, family, or even if we're talking about like politics or something like that out here. I think that something that needs to be offered way more when we're having these debates is solutions, because you don't hear too much of that sometimes.
From an individual level, from the women of the community, to figure out what it is that they want out the deal. Because ideology, from an ideological perspective, we need to know where we're headed. Like having a strategy is great, conversations are great. Where are we headed? What is the point of gearing up? What is the point of formulating strategies? What is the point of any of it? Where are we headed? And I don't know if we can answer that tonight or maybe the
Yeah,
next.
true. I can agree to that. It's funny here because we're on this panel. All of us are black, and I don't think women should lead at all. Just the simple fact that Marquette asked, I believe her name is Aisha, a question, and she said it was long-winded. I zoned out. This would tell you something about the woman's nature, right? You don't lean on the woman. Like they actually supposed to be a good listener, but they tend to not really do that job good. You know what I mean? So we don't lean on the woman or have to ask our women for direction and things like that. No, men need to take charge, and we need to lead our women. She's a prime example, right? Prime example. And nothing on you, Aisha. I'm just saying, like, she didn't. Marquette was speaking very intellectual. He was speaking concise and clear. And for you to tune out and not listen,
I was still, and I was absolutely still bored, and that has nothing.
Yeah, she was definitely very disinterested. But I do agree with Cooley, though, that women just don't think that they make the best leaders. And women are great in their own regard. We all have things that we're good at. There's definitely things that I think that women are better at than men. But when it comes to being a leader, I think that men make better leaders for sure. And I just think that it more so has to do with like our makeup and just how we were created by God. But I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it at that. But I do hope that you all liked something that I had to say. We really didn't get too far into the Lapeef video, but of course I'm gonna include the link in case you all wanna hear what else they had to say. Um, I definitely like the combos that they have over here. But thanks for hearing what I had to say. Until next time, peace.